Hey, hello friends. Thank you for joining me again today. Let me clean these brushes real quick. Whew! Hello, my name's Dan. Working outside in the hot garage. This is Daily Art Adventure number 654. I had to look. I'm calling it Opaque Acrylics. Now that's you newcomers won't think anything special about that. But if there's any old timers watching, you're gonna, wait a minute, your whole thing is all about transparent layers. And until this painting, for the last 15 years, it has been. So I am quite surprised at where this thing has gone. Let me take a minute and just to zoom in for you. So this part is not finished. That's the part I'm going to do with you. Stuff that is finished. I mean, finished at this phase, at this layer. I don't mean finished. None of it's finished. But there you go. That's the kind of thing that's happening a lot more. You don't need to see my garage any more than you're already seeing. A lot more opaque. Oh, I'm sorry. A lot more opaque acrylic than normal. Whew. So let me talk to you regulars just for a minute. So what you newcomers, leave you mildly lost just for a few minutes here. Actually part of this building that I can't figure out what's going on. Right here. I should know, having painted it so many times. Oh, I get it. Okay, let me do it. Let me fix this right now. So again, just in case there's any newcomers, I guess I'll bring you in. I normally paint several layers of mostly transparent acrylics interspersed with layers of white opaque acrylics. Okay, so it's most of the time in my painting I'm going to graduate to oils in a little while, not a few minutes, in a little while. But the acrylics are usually, as I say, limited to layers of transparent acrylics. So that's why the last couple hours of work on this painting has been quite unusual, because it's been primarily opaque, pastel-ish, colored, light-colored acrylics. And here's why. So I'm in a new place. First of all, I announced last week, on the last painting that I finished, I announced that I was turning a corner in my career, and I really believe that. I thought I turned it in the last painting, which was also a 6 by 6 foot street, same street looking the other direction. But when I got finished that painting, I gave myself about a B- for achieving my original objective. In other words, I didn't do all. It's a nice painting, but I didn't. At least I think it's a nice painting. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I think it's not. But it's not fantastic. It wasn't a home run. It was a double or a triple. So when I started this painting, having done the last one, I have been approaching it with quite a different mindset, and that's what you see here, is quite a different mindset. A lot of very energetic acrylic, opaque acrylic brushwork. And of course, if this could, except for this area here, this could easily be a finished painting. It's not going to be. I'm going to do oils on top of it. And it's going to be a blue sky, by the way. All this orange, pink, and yellow sky is underpainting for blue. But still, certainly this could pass as a finished painting if it was somebody else's painting and not mine. I can't sell a painting. Well, anyway, I shouldn't sell a painting as a professional artist that doesn't look like mine. Anyway, I'm digress. So it's been a real adventure. Now, on the other hand, I have really had fun. The good news is I have really had fun doing this thing. And I've been working out here. This is Saturday. And I've been working out here a couple hours without your company. I know. How could you say? Hello, Benji Perez. Oh, good. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. I do. You regulars value your input, especially. So that's all I can say. It's a real different adventure. But again, man, I've been having a ball. What I've been doing, and I think you see it best, I don't know, just in all this up here. My grandson said this looks like King Kong climbing the building. I have to admit he's right. That's just part of an abstract mark and it'll get diminished or eliminated if I so choose in the oil stage. But what I've been doing has been this real fun, for me, really fun combination of accurate, realistic rendering and completely abstract, non-objective marks. I mean, all this sky, of course, that's an abstract painting. In fact, if you've seen my abstract paintings, you recognize it. Oh yeah, that looks exactly like a Dan Nelson abstract painting. But then carrying that into behind all of the representational stuff. Anyway, so enough talking maybe in that regard. I think I'm going to have to move you guys because I'm going to sit right in front of you in just a second. Sorry for the earthquake. I'm going to sit down. Oops, got you pointed completely the wrong direction. All right. So I'm going to sit down here and you can watch over my shoulder, so to speak, while I continue this adventure. Oh, now I'm going to move the painting and you won't be aiming the right direction at all. All right, I'm just going to try to talk out loud, give you a stream of consciousness, I guess, what I'm thinking while I am doing this. Let me point you just for a second so you can see what I'm working with over here. Let me point you to my medium-large. Hey, Debbie Myers. Good to have you on board. Thank you for watching. So this is a kit that I put together many years ago for when I paint large paintings on the street, on the sidewalk. Now I have another kit that's 5 times as large. That's for doing 8 by 10 foot painting. This is for doing paintings up to, well, up to about 6 by 6. So there's rows 1, 3, and 5 are transparent. Rows 2 and 4 are opaque. The opaque paints are in small pots. The transparent ones are in big pots. And as you can see, it's all been used right much over the years. And so that's what I'm reaching for over there. I also have been using a butcher tray whenever I feel the need to mix acrylics. Then I reach for a butcher tray. All right. So I'm looking at these photographs. Then sorry about the glare. And I'm going to begin painting down. I'm going to start with something quite easy, and that is this green, easy, I mean striking, an element that really stands out in the scene, which is this verdigris, copper roof that is turned green, which is called verdigris. Green roof. The kind of roof you see on old government buildings and other, stately mansion-esque type places. Okay, that's all of that. That didn't take long, did it? And again, for Debbie and any other regulars that might be watching, so ironically, you find me at the moment painting in a fairly traditional manner with acrylics. I'm not usually accused of painting in a traditional manner. I'm not usually suspect of, but it's unusual for me. So because normally I would be all of this light stuff, anything that's light, would be painted in white, literal white opaque acrylic, and then I would come back and do glazes of color on top of the white. Okay, that's what I would normally do. But for some reason, again, because I find myself in this new adventure, I'm utilizing a lot of fairly opaque, and when I say that, it's to be honest, we'd have to admit really it's actually translucent, not opaque. But it's opaque paint, so to speak, quote unquote. Just applied thinly. Like at the moment, my brushes are quite damp, so as everything I'm painting right now, as it dries, it will become even more transparent, and then I will come back and apply more transparent stuff if I feel the need. Anything that I want darker, like this stroke right here is dark green. If I want it darker, then I use transparent acrylic. That's one of my firmest rules of all my painting, is you get dark with transparent color, light with opaque color. Now, most of what I'm doing in this phase, in this stage, of course, is opaque. Ready to what?
Mind if I use these to do?
Oh,
I'm low on cardboard.
can you find old ones?
These newer.
Oh, are we out of stuff to burn?
Yeah.
We don't have any bags, grocery bags under the...
Oh,
Sorry.
there's no cardboard in the thing, but I'll go.
How about this? Will cardboard work? There's a bunch here.
I looked in that for a second.
All right. Yay, dear Seth. Firing up the grill for supper, and I'm not doing it. There's a deal. There's a deal for you. A lot of times it's really good to have your son-in-law living in the house with you. I am out in the garage because the canvas I'm working on here is 6 by 6 feet, and 6 by 6 just doesn't quite fit in my studio, which is a real shame because I have a really nice, in fact, two nicely appointed studios in my house. So here I am out here in the hot summer day. It was supposed to be a high of 93 today. Maybe it was. But to tell you the truth, it actually hasn't been uncomfortable at all. I've got 2 fans. In fact, some of the noise you hear, some of the static noise you might hear in the background is 2 oscillating fans that are blowing my direction. So I'm not suffering for Jesus too much. Once again, my technique is, for at least for the last 15 years, is essentially acrylic underneath, oil on top. So this is the acrylic phase. I've said for a long time, how do you know when it's time to proceed to oil? And the answer is when the values are almost correct, when the drawing is almost correct, and when the colors are almost correct. Now, that doesn't really help a lot because all of those you will recognize are relative statements, like, okay, how close is close enough? And that's a judgment call I can't make for you or even for myself. And it's different with each painting. But another slight departure about this painting and the last one that I did. So I think Daily Art Adventures 645 or something like that last week, where there were several. I did several broadcasts, me doing the painting previous to this one. This has got me painting quite a bit more, quite tighter. Now, let me clarify that. What I mean is the drawings are actually even more precise, accurate, realistic. Accurate, I think, would be the best word there. More accurate even than my normal. And yet at the same time, my paintings have these huge abstract things going on in them. Again, for you newcomers, for the last several years, I start all of my paintings, and this one, by doing a great big, well, I say big because it's a big canvas. I cover the canvas, that's what I should say. I cover the canvas with an abstract painting, completely abstract and completely unrelated to the image, except in a contradictory way. That is, the abstract is the opposite of whatever the finished painting is going to be. So for instance, if I think this building is going to be brown over here on my left, then the underpainting over there is blue, sort of the opposite of brown. If the sky is going to be blue, then I'll do yellow, red, orange underpainting. So I've been doing that for several years, but I've had this consistent nagging disappointment with most of mine. I've done some nice paintings, but I've almost always been disappointed with how little of the original abstract still shows through in the final painting. All right, you with me? So last week, I boldly announced, that I was turning a corner. I had had a visitation in the night. That's not exactly true, but makes a good story. I had visions in the night. All of a sudden, I felt like I had an understanding of how to accomplish this elusive goal, broadly stated, for my paintings to be more accurate and more messy at the same time. So the painting I did last week, I had great, great hopes that I could accomplish this. And I did to a degree. I did. I'm not giving myself a C or a D or an E, but I am giving myself about a B minus. So not that great. But after having worked then all last week trying to accomplish this elusive goal, which elusive goal? I'll say it again. Two ways to say it. More abstract showing through, or same thing said a different way. Elusive goal, my painting to be more accurate and more messy. That's been a stated goal of mine for I think at least 7 years, maybe longer. I tend to lose track of, you know, how long things have been going on. So for 7 years, at least, I think I've been saying I want my paintings to be more accurate and more messy. So this goal in the last 2 weeks in particular, which is a subset of that, which is more of my original abstract showing through. All right, so you guys are all caught up. You newcomers, that's what I'm working on. And this painting is way better in that regard. Way better than the one that I finished last week. Of course, I'm not done yet, so there's still room for me to screw it up. There's always room for screwing up. Do I hear an amen? All you artists know exactly what I'm talking about. It ain't over till it's over, and until it's over, you could still screw up. So that's sort of what I feel like I did last week. It's like, I really thought I was nailing it, and then when I got close to done, I went, oh, dang it, I didn't nail it. So let me back up a little bit. So I think that's just about done. Let me take down these distracting images. Clean these little brushes. Pick up a big one. I discovered just a few minutes ago. I need to darken. There's this big archway. I didn't realize. There's a big archway in this building. Can you see that corner of the painting? Yes, you can. You see that whole corner of the painting, even though it's got some drawing in it, drawing in pencil, drawing in brush, drawing in white acrylic, it's very unfinished. And at least for now, I'm going to leave it that way. I'm going to leave it unfinished. Again, and now I'm wiping off some of what I just put on, which is a lot of how I've been doing the whole painting. All right, let me stand back just for a minute and assess things. So in the oil stage, I'm going to try to continue this trajectory. Trajectory, more accurate and more messy. Now, oh my goodness, there's so many things I need for you newcomers. Why am I using pencils? Because that's what I do, because I'm weird. Not only do I use pencils, I use water-soluble pastels, which I'd never heard of before 6 months ago, and watercolor sticks, and then when I get into the oil phase, I use oil sticks. So lots of unconventional tools and toys. Yeah, let me touch the windshields of some of these cars. Again, my goal is to be close in color and close in value. So like for instance, this windshield right here, these cars, in the photograph, their windshields are actually bluer than that. So, let me show you. Let me show you this photograph. Yeah, are you guys ready to get in the pool? Yeah. Okay, I'll stop broadcasting here shortly and get in the pool with you. All right. This is the photo. This is Main Street, Raleigh, North Carolina. It's called Fayetteville Street. It's our main street. The capital of North Carolina is at this end. The Symphony Hall is at the other end. Last week's painting, same street facing the other direction. Last week's painting, I was standing way up here, looking this way. Okay, same street, same size, like 6 by 6 foot painting. And this was I took dozens of pictures. This was my favorite one, except that there were no cars in here, except this one. So these 3 cars right here, bump, 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 those are all photoshopped in from either from photographs of mine or from Google image search. So just to let you know, what does an artist go through to get the job done? The answer is kind of whatever he or she has to. That's pretty standard. Cars get, of course, like everything else, they get more and more abstract the further they get away from us. All right, that looks a lot better. And of course, all of this will be modified considerably. I shouldn't say that. That's misleading again for you newcomers. What do you mean modified? Okay, when I go to oils, I'm going to back you up just for while I end this so you can see the whole painting perhaps a little bit better. When I go to oils, I do light effects, huge difference in light effects. In other words, there'll be a lot more of an explosion of lightness, brightness down here, and so on. The light hitting the top of the buildings. I see we just had a break in our stream. That's too bad. Sorry, folks. So there you go. I am ready to go swim with the grandchildren, which sounds good after a long, hot, sweaty day out here in the garage. Let me look at your chats before I go. I do appreciate you chatting with me, and if you're watching this not live, I appreciate your comments as well. So I already had some fun chats. Benji, one of my regulars, but it's been a while. You haven't said anything to me in a while. Good to hear from you, Benji. Appreciate it, and I appreciate the encouragement. I really do. And Debbie, new follower. Yay, thank you. Benji says, glad to be here early for the rants. and I didn't even do any rants, did I? I don't think I did. Sorry to disappoint you. I might broadcast again later tonight. I'll try to get a good rant going then, Benji, if you can join us. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you again. And Erlinda, good to hear you changed your name from to Earl. I like it. Earl Arts. That has a nice ring to it. Yes, Dano, I'm using the name people know me as. Oh, got it. Yeah, pronounce Earl. Good. I pronounced it the right way. Thank you for helping me with that. Love the abstraction. Great career move. Thank you. Honestly, you guys that are painters like Erlinda, Earl, your feedback is important, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Benji, the acrylic, even a little helps it stand out over the coming layers. I want to say yes. I'll come back to that if I get that figured out. Heat index there is 106 for Earl. That's crazy. Wow. Woo! No, 93 here. That's all it was. R. Taylor, any chance of a large aluminum painting in the future? Whoa. Oh my goodness. On a 6 by 6. Are you serious? Can you get 6 by 6 foot aluminum panels? It's funny you should say that, because in December here in Raleigh, I've signed up to teach. I teach about one class a month at a local art store, Jerry's Artorama, and I said, let's do something different. And so I said, let's do a winterscape on aluminum, because I've done about 4 paintings on aluminum, maybe 5. And then last week I got an email, and the administrator says, oh, we need images. So I went, oh no, now I have to do a painting on aluminum. So it's funny you should say that. Yeah, I don't know if I should do it on acrylic, a winter scene or not. But anyway, I would love to look into that, because I love, now here's painting on aluminum. In my opinion, you can't do acrylic. Some people might. Now, by the way, some people gesso their aluminum, and I say, what's the point of painting on aluminum if you're going to gesso it? It's because I like the, what's the word? Of the color showing through, the reflection showing through. There's a word, iridescence. I like the iridescence of the aluminum showing through, reflecting through the colors. But that would be fun. Wow, I'm gonna have to think about that. David, hey David, you don't care about the card in the bottom right. Too late. Now maybe I'll try to fix it before we're done. Yeah, I like it pretty much. Maybe, and again, you might have been talking about the photograph. Valid opinion, certainly. I decided I liked it, so I can understand that. The car to your right, starting from the second and third, the street sign seems high. Thank you. You are correct. I just redid that a minute ago. The benefit of being a safe distance away. Thanks, David. I will fix that. I have helpers. I have lots of helpers. Yes, Earl, I was. And I was quite happy with the painting. I described it to my painters group this past Tuesday when I took it in a trailer. Took it there, and the one thing that I really liked about that painting for sure was that because I was trying to keep the abstract underpainting manifest, obvious, it caused me to paint the painting itself a little bit looser, which I'm like most of you. I'd like to move in that direction. So I actually think it's one of my best paintings, at least I'll say best paintings of a cityscape, which I've done hundreds, thousands of, for that reason. So I was happy with that, but I wasn't quite happy with how much of the underpainting. And I did have fun, but I'm having more fun on this one. So that's, how could that be? 2 paintings in a row. Hey, Jake, good to have you here. Jake, South Africa, right? I should start writing you guys down. Hey, KJ, you're new. Good to have, at least you're new commenter. An Uncle 60. Got you at work. Get back to work. Hey, KJ. Hey, Control, CTRL. Hello yourself. Thank you for coming on board today. Well, I'm going to stop there. And I am excited about this painting. That's always good news, isn't it? It's always good when you're really enjoying painting. I'm enjoying this one even more than the last one. Thanks, David, for mentioning that. That is exactly. In fact, I think there's some other issues going on with these cars, so I will fix that. I think that these cars need to be slightly larger, probably. No. I'm wrong. In North Carolina, our street signs are about 12 feet up in the air. Sounds good to me. 10 feet, anyway. Actually, there are some issues going on here. This is too high, and or this is too low. And I had decided that I could get away with it. Now I'm beginning to wonder if I actually can. No, I can get away with the building. Even the people who live here won't discern that that's too high. Yeah, that's a secret between you and me, okay? You guys, whoever's watching, and me. There are things you can get wrong and get away with it. Of course, there are things you can't. The perspective is right. You know, the vanishing point is right. It's just, in reality, I believe this is supposed to be about here, about an inch and a half lower than it is. But I don't want to redo all that. It's hard to hard to cover up stuff if you're not painting just in opaque layers. All right, I'm talking too much. Looks great, thank you. Oh, long time control, long time. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's your name or not, but CTRL, long time subscriber. Thank you, appreciate it. Oh, wait, Uncle 60. Dave Mercer is in Canada. Who did I accuse of being in Canada? No, Uncle 60. Oh, I thought you were in Texas. You're in Florida? You're somewhere south. It is Florida. Thank you. All right, guys. This is goofy enough. Appreciate your